The victim was slumped over his desk, face down, arms outstretched like he was trying to grab at thin air. Around him were papers, reports, case files, all meticulously organized except for one. A single sheet lay across his keyboard, a ransom note. The detective in charge of the case circled the room twice, careful not to disturb anything, but his eyes kept returning to that note. It wasn't just the contents, though they were, of course, troubling. No, it was the way it had been written. It was scrunched up so tight that the ink had bled through the fibers of the paper, ruining what was supposed to be an exact replica of the ransom note found at the scene of the crime. He pulled out his phone and dialed the number. The victim's wife picked up after the third ring. Her voice was shaking. "Hello, ma'am. I have some questions for you." She hesitated. "Oh, about my husband's abductor. You want to know what kind of monster would do such a thing? Well, here's a clue. Look at your television." The detective frowned. He knew she was watching the news, but why would they show anything about the case? This was before the internet, before cell phones. If the press got hold of this, it would blow up the case. But it wasn't the police who had released the information. It was him. The killer was watching them both. Waiting for a response from the wife, he tapped his finger on the glass pane of the window, enjoying the view. Well, what does it say? The TV blared in the background. Her husband's office is being treated as a crime scene. The newscaster said, her face grave. Police are baffled by the apparent abduction of the prominent businessman, but have refused to comment on any possible motives or suspects. He could hear the wife's intake of breath. Good. Let her imagination run wild. Let her think of all the horrible things that could have happened to her darling husband. Just as long as she didn't guess the truth, he would savor that delicious secret all by himself. He watched as the wife rushed to the television, her silhouette dark against the light. She read through the copy of the ransom note, her face ashen. Then she did something unexpected. She picked up the phone again, this time dialing the number the detective had given her earlier. They were playing his game now, and he was loving every minute of it. "Hello, is this about my husband? Who else do you think this is about? What do you want?" "We want the money, of course. $5 million in cash. And we want the police presence at the drop-off to be minimal. We don't want any funny business." She was trying to negotiate. Of course, she had no idea that the only reason there had been a police presence at the drop-off was because of her husband's failure to pay up. "Don't worry, ma'am. We wouldn't dream of involving the police if we knew how to avoid it." She slammed the phone down. He could practically feel her rage, her terror, and it excited him like nothing else. While she paced her luxurious home, he took his time getting ready. He put on his favorite suit, the one with the velvet collar. He polished his boots until they gleamed like mirrors, and he ran a comb through his thick, greasy hair. Then he picked up his weapon, a meat cleaver, its handle worn smooth by years of use, and he smiled, his teeth gleaming like ivory in the firelight. The best laid plans, he thought, circling his victim's office one last time. Always start with the best laid plans.